We are now under agenda corrections and changes. Leader Mariel.
Madam President, I move to suspend Rule 22A at second readings, ordinances 25 through 33 to this evening's agenda.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to suspend Rule 22A to have second readings of ordinances 25 through 33 to this evening's agenda. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mariel,
Aye.
Babcock,
Aye.
Gevasis,
Aye.
Crystal Smith, Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Madam President.
Thank you. The motion carries and ordinances 25 through 33 are now a legal part of your agenda. We are now under public hearings and we have none for this evening. I'm going to switch old business till after public speaks because we have 15 public speakers tonight who want to get into it. And so Leader Mariel will call on you after public speaks. Now, we have 27 speakers this evening, and that's a lot. So I just ask everyone to try to be quiet so we can hear what everybody has to say. And for those of you who have not been with us, when I call your name, you'll step to the podium, say your name and residential address, and then you can monitor your time on the clocks. Okay, try to speak in the microphone so that we can hear you and hear what you have to say. All right. Our first speaker is Ms. Vicki Boatwright. Ms. Boatwright.
Good evening. My name is Vicki Boatwright. I live at 4518 Nice Road in Louisville. Although I'm not a resident of Canton, I've owned a business in Canton for many years and have lived in Canton for quite a while as well. On June 16th, 2023, I was quoted in the repository article about the Palace Theater expansion. That expansion required demolishing 2 buildings on 6th Street that housed 27 apartments and 4 businesses. These 2 buildings were in better condition than most of the buildings in downtown Canton. One was historical and well refurbished. Tenants and business owners had to relocate in short order. At the time, I said, this is a community that's being eliminated. And regardless of the value of that expansion, that is a heavy cost. I believe open discussion about the Palace's plans should have happened long before decisions were made, and that the city should have mobilized assistance to the businesses and the residents at that time. Instead, the public was kept in the dark until after the deal was made. When asked about the disruption to so many low-income people, one Palace board member told me, "We don't want to be in the landlord business." I bring that up because yesterday there was an article by Sharita Gaucher about another building facing demolition. And again, it was said, we don't want to be in the landlord business. Apparently, the only people that want to be in the landlord business in Canton are shysters from out of town. Today, there is a big hole where that building stood with no obvious signs of movement towards developing it. There was no city or private assistance offered to the residents or to the business owners. I bring this up as a business owner in Canton for many years. I have seen the problem of homelessness up front and close. I have been spit upon. I have been flashed. I have been screamed at by people on the street. The problems are real. Even so, these are people, not problems. They deserve compassion, even when their behaviors are not sweet and cuddly. That's why I believe the city is moving a little too quickly on this. I believe that you have your hearts in the right mind and good intentions. But unlike other decisions that were made with the 2 buildings I previously mentioned, I'd like for us to spend more time discussing the impacts on the
I'm
city.
sorry, your time is up, ma'am. Our buzzer didn't go off, but your time is
Oh,
up.
okay. Well, I respectfully ask you to delay this vote until the effects of our community are more clear.
Thank you, Ms. Boatright. Our second speaker is Ms. Skylar Cruz. Ms. Cruz.
My name is Skylar Cruz, and I live at 2216 Bollinger Avenue Northeast. Homeless people are not a separate species. They're human species. They're humans who once lived in houses. My guess is that most, if not all, city officials who support a camping ban that targets homeless people. My guess is that most, if not all, city officials who support a camping ban that targets homeless people are vastly different than anything done to genuinely help homeless people. This camping ban ordinance falls in line with what the Trump administration would love to see in this city and would love to see in this city and story. Compared to people who live in houses, homeless people are 8 times more likely to be victims of crime. Many studies show someone is twice as likely to be a murder victim if they're homeless. Adults are even more likely. 30 to 40 are likely. Virtually all women who are homeless know the trauma of assault. Virtually all women who are homeless know the trauma of assault. At least once, many times, during the time that they're more about doing these crimes. Okay, with them, this is a learning. I do not expect anyone to go begging for housing to someone who clearly hates them. They can do so much better. Behavior that destructive, much better. Behavior that destructive. I can't show your life.
Yeah.
Camping bans don't work. Fines don't work. Charges don't work. Jail time doesn't work. Charges don't work. Jail time doesn't work. But housing works. Mental health and physical services work. Employment opportunities work. Community works. And that's part. It doesn't just work for homeless people. It works for you too.
Yeah.
Our next speaker is David Creston. Mr. Creston.
Name's David Crestus. I live at 626 Walnut Avenue, Northeast, Canton, Ohio. I'm here tonight because I want to talk about the Clayton Act, which was a federal act, protected my religion. And even though you try to submit mind manipulation on me, the power to manipulate the mind and mental function of oneself or others, how could you do that? Bullying, intimidation, negligence, incompetence, or molding criminal conduct would be the only answers I could come up with. As I move forward, omnikinesis, the ability to manipulate anything and actually everything in reality. How do you do that? Bias. Most have power of authority, judges, cops, veteran, FBI agents. It's the only way them words can exist. So as I go through and I look at all these little flyers for suicide and help the veteran and all that, I've been on drugs and alcohol since I've been a kid. Been watching Korean veterans sell dope, do cocaine, drink liquor, and alcohol has the same effect as a felony drug has on your mind. It affects the cerebral cortex of your brain, the cognitivity of your thought process, and you have no conscience. That's what makes you a pagan or a heathen in the New World Order of Jesus. For me, I'm Roman Catholic. It's Adam and Eve. It's not Adam and Steve. Can't have that. Okay, so you got the new empathetic world of Jesus Christ and God. That's a heathen. You're working your way to hell. As I look into your law, conviction obtained by plea guilty, which was unlawfully induced or not made voluntary with the understanding of the nature of charges or consequences of the plea. Nobody ever told me that, my insurance went up and I got a ticket. Nobody ever told me my credit was ruined for 7 years after I'm evicted trying to turn in people who are robbing the HITTP program of the federal government. Yeah, nobody ever told me that. John Hornbrook never got me my inheritance from my wife's retirement. Was married 7 years, had a right to that, and he signed off. We got some dumb lawyers around here. Takes me to Donald Ramsey, the judge, he kicked off the bench. Jim Rydell, the pervert, he turned into an air marshal. Oh, and Steve Swank's dog was given to Jim Rydell. Jimmy Rydell got that dog in Brewster. You can't find it. You have a nice day, Ethan.
Thank you, Mr. Crest.
May God help you.
Next speaker is Ms. Kimberly Bell. Ms. Bell.
Kim Bell, 1733 Morris Avenue. First, Mayor, when I ran against you as mayor, I would tell you, if I didn't win, I wanted you to win. In order for democracy to work, we must have people like myself and people in this audience to challenge you. And the city council member, same for you, same goes for you. And the law director, Jason. We must start at the lower level of government, such as you all, to make everything, to make democracy work for everybody. I'm going to address the issue with my arrest last week. What happened to giving people citations and warnings? That crime, that was not a crime, that was a warning to pull me aside and say, when the officer Marino arrived, Ms. Bell, they all know me, they hear my name come across the radio, they want to always want to make something into nothing. Make nothing into something, because I didn't do anything wrong. He said, the security officer said he was going to call the law. I'm not going to run, I'm going to wait for him. So that, like I said, that was something you should have gave me a citation for. But when you heard my name come across the radio, that was your chance to have one up on me. But I was released after 45 minutes of being detained in a county jail. I'm a Democrat, and like most of you in this room, and Mayor, you want to change the homeless from being homeless. How is your actions different from Donald Trump's? How? You're just a Democrat, he's a Republican, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. But how is your actions towards the homeless any different than what the Trump administration, Donald Trump is doing in his administration, is signing these executive orders? How is it different? Can anybody please answer me? How is his actions any different? What he's trying to do with the homeless, by giving them a fine, have their belongings that they got, and then if they are taken by the police, they have to scramble for more belongings and get more clothing and get more of this and more of that because the police confiscated their property. The only thing that they own. How is it different from what the Republicans are doing? Explain it.
Thank you, Ms.
Don't sign that executive order, Mayor. Homeless.
Our next speaker is Mr. Roger Gates. Mr. Roger Gates.
All right. My name's Roger Gates. I live at 611 Smith, and I got 3 minutes to give you all hell. All right? That months ago, when you guys opened the substation downtown, everybody that comes on a regular basis voiced their opinion about you guys going after the homeless. Well, maybe I'm a victim of misinformation here, just like many others on this board here, okay, about other issues. But they said it's only for a few select sites for the downtown area that are going to be the targeted areas. That's amazing because the substation's within a couple blocks of there. Which that brings me to the case in point. Integrity and asking you guys to not lie to us, is that so much? It's not, and it's happened. Proof is in the pudding, buddy. Homeless people, this isn't going to solve the problem, okay? Why don't you bring them in? Don't make them a criminal. Why don't you bring them in and say, hey, these are the services, give them the option to do what they got to do. If they don't do it, that is because they're not ready to change, or maybe they're sick. But they don't give us the right as a government to be able to take them. Why don't you give them another option? Maybe they don't like Coleman Center. Maybe they don't like Heartland. Maybe it's left a bad taste in their mouth. Why don't we get for real? Pull together as a people. Not sit here and divide ourselves because I'm the have-not. I am a have-not. I work hard every day to make sure that I do have. That's how everybody in the city, you guys, the upper people are getting the greatest treatment in the world from what I'm seeing, okay, in this city. Us poor people are. We're sliding further and further backwards. And then you wonder why the homeless problem is exploding. So let's address it. Address it. Not criminals.
Ow!
Make it worse. Job? Let's go get a job. Oh, I got charged with misdemeanor because I'm sick. They don't have no home base. Where do they have to be able to base from to be able to secure a job, secure my belongings? I'm not worried while I'm at work. Hey, did somebody come and remove my tent and throw it in the dumpster? It's a sad day. It's a sad day because the truth is coming. And the lies aren't going to be believed no more because they are coming to light right now. My Lord is leading me, and I guarantee if you guys keep this up, and I will keep on coming out here, and I will keep talking about it. Talk to the people in your city. Talk to the people in your wards, okay? They do not want this. They know this is not the answer. You represent them, not yourself, not the people downtown Canton businesses. You represent the people in this community. It's time to be real. Amen. We will be real.
Thank you, Mr. Gates. Our next speaker is Mr. Robert Freed. Mr. Freed.
Good evening. Robert Freed, 1529 19th Street. I'll try and be brief. I have 3 points I want to get through tonight. The first point is the consequences of a yes vote for the community and for this body. The second point, who actually benefits if this ordinance is passed. The third point is the likely outcomes. And I'm not saying I'm psychic when I talk about likely outcomes. I'm saying there's over a decade worth of data. These are likely outcomes. So let's start with the yes vote. What does the yes vote tell me in this community? It tells me that I'm wasting my breath, and I wasted my breath last week. This is just a statutory formality. We're dotting our I's, we're crossing our T's, cool, statute satisfied. Now let's do what we already decided weeks ago. That's what a yes vote tells me. Here's what a yes vote is for politicians. Here's your consequence. There is no amount of PR spin or gaslighting. Right? None. That's going to allow you to run the local paper or put out a press statement to try and distance or differentiate yourself from your political opponents. A yes vote is a codification of cruelty. It is a criminalization of poverty. And there is no amount of soap that will wash the stink of a yes vote off of anyone's hands in this body. Now, who does this benefit? This law benefits the elites. When I say the elites, I'm not talking about some shadowy figures and some smoky background. I operate in the world of law. I like clearly defined terms, right? So let's define the elites. You have the corporate elites who have been figuratively breaking and pillaging this community for decades. Millions of dollars of loans that they don't repay. Decades long of tax exemptions. Ironic, there's 2 increases of property tax on November's ballot, right? You're taxing me out of my home, so this is my pay when I lose my home, right? That's the benefits, that's the corporate elites. Then you have your political elites. The political elites are the very same people in this room who have been played by the corporate elites coming in from out of town, looking for fresh meat. There's nothing new with this ordinance. I've seen it for 12 years, state after state, city by city. That's who this benefits. Those are the elites. Here's your likely outcome. Millions upon millions of dollars are going to flow to some nonprofits. Some select, lucky nonprofits that get those grants year after year. The homeless count is going to increase. Enforcement actions are going to result in yet another 1983 claims if we don't have enough. For our non-lawyers in the room, those are federal civil rights claims that are pending for a court against the Canton. Let me back up a bit, so I'm running out of time. Talking about PRC and gaslighting. I heard the statement this is another tool. Let's use some more clearly defined terms. The tool is a hammer. How's that saying go when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail? You wouldn't tell this community Canton PD needs another new shiny hammer? I don't think so. How about until we give anyone any new hammers and tools, we resolve all these 1983 claims? See if we can go a year or 2 without any. How does that sound?
That'd be nice.
I hope you all have taken my words to heart. I really hope that I'm not wasting my breath. I hope the community's not wasting their time and breath. Do the right thing. Vote no.
Our next speaker is Mr. Daniel Gates.
My name is Daniel Gates and I live in the United States Constitutional Republic. I don't typically like to get into national ordeals, but since members of my community in Ward 1 are voicing their concerns of the lack of care of life of the individual, whether it be a national problem or not, whether you agree or not, people should not die for political differences.
Amen.
Mr. Mayor, you made some very questionable posts. And the First Amendment is a great thing because not only can it tell you the truths about people, but it can also tell you the character of them. And your constituents right now think you don't care about the life of people. Based on what you posted, and I feel the same way. You would just love to see me get shot in the head, coming here, speaking about things that you don't like. That's how we feel as right-wing supremacists, however you want to put it. Some of us are not radical. Some of us do like to stay in the middle. Okay? And there are many people that are like that and they're concerned now. The other thing I want to get involved in here today is the homeless problem. Voting yes on this is a very, very bad decision. I know Donald Trump and the Supreme Court has ruled otherwise, and I have a difference of opinion. Because, I've been homeless. When I was homeless, my option was to sleep in a serial killer's car in the dead of winter. Because I didn't want to go down to your services. Because I know that there's people there that are going to cause conflicts. The police are there all the time down at the Refuge of Hope. People are down and they're out and they don't want to have more problems, and that's what's going on down there. There's more problems. And then you're pushing these people to go and hide away from you. You have it literally set up in your sin areas where you host parties and events where the closest spot for these people to be able to sit somewhere and sleep that isn't deep in a residential area. That's what you're going to end up doing, is sending all of these people into people who do not care about the well-being of the homeless, and they will harm them for being in their backyards, for trespassing on their properties. You do not care about the life of these individuals, and it's very clear why you, Mr. Mayor, would present that to a body of people who make posts so negatively about the life of an individual. Deo Patria Mises, and remember, it is always about we the people, not an individual politician.
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Gates. Our next speaker is Christy Stefan.
I have 2 points to bring up. One,
Just for the record, could you give your name and residential address?
That's fine. Christy Stephan, 1920 4th Street Southeast.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have 2 points that I want to bring up. One is more of a personal issue where a neighbor our sewage line ended up coming on my neighbor's property. There's no easement on the mortgages. There is no anything that says that we can go onto his property and finish the job. And I have talked to the water department, the engineering department, the EPA, the health department, and no one can help us. And now our basement is constantly backing up, time and time again, and now we can't turn on our heat. When we go to turn on our heat, the entire house smells. So now it's becoming an environmental issue. We're all getting sick all of the time, as you can hear. The other issue is that now it might become unsafe to live. And where is that going to land me? That's going to land me on the streets. And then where am I going to be able to go? We are all one paycheck away. We are all one job away. We are all one opportunity away. But if those opportunities are not there for us, then what do you expect us to do? But what I'm asking for is that I have asked this city in every department that is necessary to get this job done so that I don't end up in that situation. I have friends that are homeless. I try to help as many people as I can. But now that my house is unsafe to stay in and I can't help those people, I'm just here to ask for help. That's all I'm here to do. And that's what you guys are here for. It's for us to come to you and be able to help. So whenever we come to you and we ask for the help and we don't get that help, it lands us into the streets. And then we get treated the way we do. Come on. So that being said, I don't know what else to say to that. But we are all just one paycheck away, one step away from being out on those streets.
Yes.
So please, just look at yourselves, look at your families, look at your friends, and understand that if roles were reversed, you would want the same compassion. You would want the same exact thing. And that's why I don't understand why my neighbor who is 78 years old has had 3 strokes and is in health conditions himself. If the roles were reversed, he would sue me the next day. I don't want to have to do that to this man. So if you can, please stand up for the people. Okay, that's why we're here. Thank you.
Thank you. And the director is going to give some information about our sewer line. Okay, our next speaker is Ms. Sue Jacobs. Ms. Jacobs.
You got it. You got it.
Don't get mad at me. I'm Sue Jacobs, 2322 Brittany Avenue, Northeast. First, you're giving the mayor a bad rap. I'm telling you right now, I'm for the homeless. I've been with them for 15 years. Last year, he helped people get out of Tent City. He gave them extra time. He put them in housing and they didn't stay. All right, what's he going to do about it? What's happening to them right now? Thank Donald Trump for that. Because if he don't follow the rules, they're going to get their federal funding taken away. Did you tell him that? No, because you're a nice man. Anytime I ever had trouble with any of these guys, they've always helped me. And they do care about the homeless. Many of you people you don't have the housing, you told me that. I've seen stuff that they're throwing away, the backs of trucks. Why don't they look into making that they're out of tents and putting it out of the city somewhere? You know what Fox News said? Here's what these people think. Fox News, Brian Kilmeade, said mentally ill homeless people should be executed. That's what he thinks of you guys. Not the mayor does. None of these people do. He's trying to get things started. I mean, that's all I can tell you. I know all of you that went out because I was out with you guys. And you was on the street. Showing people, you are American citizens. You deserve better. You know, who can get a job? Now there's people out there that should be in a mental hospital. That they didn't have place for, and he's out in the street to kill himself or somebody else. These people look after them. Their family. Some of them are my family. And nobody deserves that. I mean, I want a paycheck from
going under. Donald Trump said, I'm not gonna come. But he's ruining this country. He lies. He wants all you people out, period. He'll lock you in jail somewhere or put you, if you're on drugs, if you're on beer or anything. He wants to lock you up. It's crazy.
Black, Latino, Mexican.
And yeah, anybody. I have a son-in-law at home that's Honduras. We got it. Every day we're scared that he's gonna come in and get him, and he's here legally. So don't blame them. They, honest to God, they work with you guys. I have been down here to help me out when I had personal problems with a family person. Now, they went according to the law, and I had to wait, and I was mad, because they didn't move fast enough for me. But they did. And they will help you. You just gotta give them a chance. You know, I know you're out in the street, and I know what's happening, and I'm sorry. I'm there with you guys all the time. So are they. There's just not, you got a pie, you cut it as much as you can. Just like the police officers, anybody, they're here for us. Maybe you think some of them aren't, but I've seen a lot of them that let you go. I've seen it. All right, and if they're going to do that, then turn them in. Tell the mayor. He doesn't, I think he cares. I may be wrong.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jacob.
Yeah.
Our next
I don't think I can boo
speaker,
people that make me cry.
if I can read this, is Christine Seacrest. Am I saying that correctly? Seacrest?
Oh, she didn't have to sign this. She thought she signed it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Our next speaker is Shauna Kirby.
Woo!
Hey there, my name is Shauna Kirby. I'm homeless in Stark County. And this is Shelley Kirby. This is my mother. So I wanted to start tonight by saying I just really encourage you to please vote no on this no camping ban. There are citizens that would still like to camp that won't have the opportunity to if you pass that. And the homeless people are going to suffer further, and there will be more of them. See, our country uses the judicial system, the pharmaceutical companies, and all other situations to turn profit on everybody. We can't continue that. That's why I keep coming in here, time after time, asking for criminal justice reform. My mother is a product of a failed system. She's a schizophrenic, mentally ill woman that has been pushed on pharmaceutical drugs for about 30 years of her life. Go ahead and talk, Mom.
And the nursing home treats me bad.
All of our nursing homes are lacking staff. All of the people are pushed on pills in the nursing homes to the max. My mom didn't have strokes, tremors, or any kind of dementia until years of pushing pills. So Phoenix Rising, Coleman Center, any place around here, they are over-medicating that population. And I don't know if it's population control or what you're trying to do, but I'm sick of it. My mom is suffering. There's a lot of other individuals suffering at the hands of those facilities. There was a woman named Joanne McConney. She treated me and my mother for years. And those pills, they just kept coming. And they don't care if people take them or not. They just push them. So if you want to treat the homeless, it's not going to be with over-medication or jail systems. How much money, how many people are in there this week? 476. That's too many. Let's take care of the homeless people the right way. Let's house them. I'm one of those people. Thanks for helping us. Now, I just want to say that all of these individuals that came together, they're looking at you. I'm looking at you, and you're looking at us. You're not hearing us still. Please, vote no on this tonight, and we can be a better community if we all work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Shauna Kirby and Shelby Kirby. Our next speaker is Kane Lewis. Doing that correctly? And we just need to state your name and residential address.
My name is Kane Lewis, and I live at 811 Garnett Avenue. I just have a few things to say. Since seems like you guys have been doing nothing but harassing these homeless people and paying your Hall of Fame and everything with the way you guys harass these people, and it's just horrible and it makes me sick. Like, I've seen it from my own experience because my dad, he's homeless, and during the winter when it was real cold last year, they had a warming shelter and stuff like that. And the mayor brought pizza and everything else, and it was all great. The day after, they didn't have no warming shelter because it was like 10 degrees warmer or something. It was just warm enough for people to be outside. And they arrested all these homeless people for trespassing that day when they could have just had warming shelters that they were just doing fine and everything else. Like, they just keep harassing these people to pay what they gotta pay because they're behind on stuff. They ain't fixing the stuff that actually needs fixed and taken care of. They're worried about making us look better to try to get these rich people in, but that ain't the problem. Like, we need to fix the actual problem before we can worry about the other things that happen. Like, there's other things that we need to worry about. They are people. We are people. Like, you know, like, I'll tell you one thing too. It could be any of you homeless at any point. Like, it happens, okay? It could be great, and then stuff just crowns it. You never know what life can hit you with. Like, I'll tell you what, I moved back from out of state, and you try to get a place and stuff with no job, you have to have 6 months working to even prove that you even get a place for most of these places. So none of these services, there's not enough services and everything else for these people and everything else, and you want to throw them in jail. You want to think that is the solution. You want to make them in jail. You want to think that is the solution. You want to make money off of them, like you guys been doing, and that's wrong. And that's all I got to say about that. It's wrong. They're people.
Our next speaker, and I hope I'm reading this, Miranda Sauls?
Saline.
I'm sorry, Saline. I'm so sorry. Sauls?
Saline.
I'm sorry, Saline. I'm so sorry.
Yes, Miranda Saline, 338. Thank you, members of council. I would like to reiterate that he's on the majority of the city here in front of me, and I that there's more than a platform this is important. In fact, our policy we know, as was referenced before, there is money tied up in this. Donald Trump has openly praised and rewarded cities that pass these kinds of bans, but leadership is doing the right thing, not following bad politics. And it's not only bad politics, it's what I can only assume to be bad policy, as we did not receive any answers to the multiple questions regarding logistics and practical logistics regarding this proposed ban. As a taxpaying resident, I ask you, do not waste my money. Criminalizing people without homes is not only cruel, it's expensive and ineffective. A joint HUD and HHS report analyzing encampment bans across major U.S. cities found that costs range from $1,600 per person in San Jose to $6,200 per person in Tacoma, with total city spending running into the millions. It's money that could have been spent towards permanent housing solutions. To be clear, housing projects, assistance, and development are not cheap either, but they are the only thing that ends someone's experience of homelessness permanently and prevents long-term spending for someone on the streets from our city budget. In multiple cases, studies have shown that these initiatives actually reduce the amount of money cities spend on homelessness in the long term. I want my tax dollars going to fund real long-term solutions instead of expensive short-term fixes that only harm people in the process. History is going to remember your vote tonight. I am going to remember your vote tonight. And you aren't just going to see us across here. You're going to see us in the streets, at festivals, at the bars that you frequent, and you will be questioned and called out on what happens this evening. By myself, for sure, and I can only assume by others in this room. Oh, yeah. So, please vote no, put our city on the right side of history. Abolish ICE and free Palestine.
Our next speaker is Ms. Lorinda Johnson. Ms. Johnson.
Yeah, Lorinda.
Lorinda Johnson, 4613 13th Street. Just as we're listening to everything, I understand good intention, but please remember impact over intention that matters. Last week, community members came together to dissent on the camping ban, which criminalizes homelessness and free people existing on public land. Mayor, during the committee meeting, you mentioned the city's efforts to address the housing crisis. I appreciate the work, as do others. However, framing those efforts combined with Julie Sparks from I Can't Speech as a defense against perceived personal attacks missed the point. Julie didn't mention the camping ban once, by the way. It felt like public criticism was being misread as an attack rather than a concern. I also want to call out that ICANN's director interrupted and made rude gestures to the one person present who was experiencing homelessness. That's unacceptable, and we wonder why there's distrust. Just like the repository suppressed the fact that so many people showed up to speak, the city also seems to be silencing dissent. It's feeling very Trumpy out there in a sea of Democrats. I sent a survey out to the community. Some of those results are in those packets I just gave you. The public had to do your job and the media's. I also have a QR code for anyone who wants to view those results. You all too. Here are a few quotes from people experiencing homelessness about the ban. I've been homeless since I was 14 and I learned things on the street I can't learn anywhere else. It changes mindsets. It teaches you don't need money and it's not important. I think people should be allowed if they're clean, courteous, and don't leave their stuff. It hinders more than helps. I've seen whole self-sustaining villages. It's against American values. If you're not hurting anyone, why would there be a problem? If they can't sleep in a house and can't sleep in a tent, where can they go? It's cruel and inhumane to deny humans the right to sleep where they can. The mayor said we don't like the homeless. Everything is about money. Unless us homeless people, we are people too. We're not just tools. With people not paying attention, it hurts. I don't like trucks. They don't care. You gotta stand up. So dissent against this policy is not criticism of the city's other efforts necessarily. People acknowledge the work, but also demanded more. Again, dissent against this harmful policy specifically is not a criticism of the work. As Correct. Said last week, the research is already out there. Camping bans don't work. The evidence is easy to find. Don't Democrats value research? The defensiveness from the city representatives feel like, well, what do you want us to do then? But most of us aren't coming here with answers or resources. We're coming because this policy causes harm. Correct. The only people who benefit from camping bans are those who want to pretend homelessness doesn't exist, out of sight, out of mind, right? Again, this policy only harms unhoused folks. Many unhoused folks thought this was a Trump policy, and that assumption makes sense. Until June 2024, cities couldn't even implement bans like this due to lower court rulings. Under Obama, camping bans were unconstitutional. But the Trump Supreme Court overturned that. That's why you're seeing this uptick in cruel policies. The same court is stripping autonomy away, just like it did with reproductive rights. So yes, Lorinda. Are you so afraid of Trump you'll assimilate to eugenic fascist policies? Do you think white supremacy will save you? Thank you. Our next speaker is Ms. Tara Dyer. Ms. Dyer.
Go Tara. Tara. It's Tara.
Good evening, my name is Tara Dyer. I live at 410 Sheridan Drive in North Canton. I am a former candidate for Stark County Reporter, and I want to speak briefly on the city's plan to find and criminalize people experiencing homelessness. I was moved to be here after sharing an article about this and seeing one of my high school classmates share her story about homelessness. She was suffering mental health issues in her 20s and she didn't even know there were resources available. What we do here in Canton reflects on our entire county and even beyond, because people pay attention to how we treat our most vulnerable. Punishing people for being homeless is not the solution. It only makes it harder for them to find employment, housing, and it doesn't address the real issues. We have limited resources and a lack of affordable housing across Stark County, and that is what's fueling even more homelessness. We need to look at why we aren't getting the state level funding that we could to help us tackle these problems, and we need to hold our state house members accountable for not doing this for us. Instead of penalizing those who have nothing, we need to be fighting for the resources to allow us to support them and create jobs. I strongly urge you to support them.
Woo!
Mr. Justin Fulker? I'm not reading it very well.
Fuller.
Fuller? Okay, Fuller.
Where is she?
Mr. Fuller. Apparently he's not here. Okay, we're going to move on. Our next speaker is also Mr. Justin Nicely. Mr. Justin.
Yeah.
Evening, Justin Nicely with the Canton on the Shane, 2902 Leading Way, Northwest, Madison, Ohio, 44647. Yeah, say hi to everybody. You guys need to get the empathy and compassion, and you need to realize that what you're affecting is families. You guys need to also understand and realize that the reason why you have such a homelessness epidemic is because you guys aren't going to address the basic foundation basis of the problems that cause and create it. Period. Now, I'm going to come to you up for 2 years. Right here in the back of my shirt, it reads exactly how you can start. And that's by getting the family element back together again.
Yes.
Eliminate the fatherless children and single-parent family epidemic we are facing throughout the entire state and the country right now.
Yes.
16 million people right now, children, do not have two-parent families in the home. 65% of a two-parent family income goes to taking care of their children in their home. Imagine the burdens that people feel when they only have one parent there. And here's some statistics and data, since you guys want to sit there and be compassionate. And every one of you, I want to let you know now, if you vote yes, I will go out of my damn way to make sure to make you as public as humanly possible. I'm going to share your face shots, your screenshots, your addresses, your phone numbers, and I'm going to let everybody, as far as the public-wise, deal with your ass as far as the stupid decisions that you're making to ruin the people that live here and the community that you all are supposed to serve. So, here's some data. 11,700 homeless right now. Beds is all that's available for those 11,000. 4,000 beds throughout the entire state of Ohio, people. Grants to 47 different agencies throughout 34 different agencies are specifically based on housing the people that are homeless. That's it. You guys have only $20.5 million for the year in government grants, but you got $65 million being spent on the homelessness situation. It's not adding up. We're going broke, and it's because you guys won't address the issues. And the issues are, majority of everybody that goes homeless is because poverty, mental health, addiction, unemployment, and affordable housing, as well as mental health. Well, what do you know? Did you know that single-parent family homes, 63% of the people between ages of 18 to 26 years of age, aged out of foster care, 90% of your homeless are from fatherless children. Do you understand the epidemic yet? You got 38% of families of fathers that have not seen their children in over 6 months. You got 63% of them, 71% of all these kids that are dropping out of high school because of fatherless children and also single-parent family homes. 85% of youth incarcerated. Mental health all falls under the line of bringing the family element back together. What are you doing about it?
Thank you. Speaker is Mr. Keith Bethel.
First time I ever seen you step on the podium.
Tell them, man. They need here. Back the problem.
My name is Lee that I currently reside at 2215 Russell Road.
People were preaching to the choir.
All you guys coming down here talking about this, that, and the other, preaching to the choir. And when I say you're preaching to the choir, I do mean you're preaching to the choir. You're supposed to say giving a doggone what you're talking about.
Nope.
And I mean not a doggone. I've never seen the level of corruption.
Oh.
And I can't argue the only one who see it. I went in the Chase Bank. A bank I've been banking with for quite a while. They had given me some lady's name, her address, her social birthday, her routing, accounting, and 3 months of her bank statement. And at the time, I didn't car, I put the car in, and I took it to the financial institution I was working with at the time, and they said, Keith, is this you? And I said, yeah. She said, no, it is a woman. And I didn't bother to look at the name. I didn't see my name. I took it back. Well, that was a setup. And I didn't realize it was a setup. Jason Reese, when I came to your courtroom to get justice, you covered it up. I'm gonna tell you how I covered it. First, they arrested me. Charged me with all kind of crimes. I'm like, man, this is crazy. I'm coming here, get the audio and video, which you never asked for because you never sure whether or not I was right or wrong. The audio and video would have proved it. Well, I proved it anyway. At the end of the day, the bottom line is I wasn't the first incident. And then I went out and purchased a car from a woman, $200. It wasn't a lot of a piece of car, you might say. The lady went out, signed a deed or title to me, got it notarized at the library, and doggone it. Then she'd go out and sign that title over to somebody else. How about that? And guess what? Common denominator, Jason Reese. Showed up again. And the next thing I know is, the woman that wore in the woman's favor told her I'm back in the car. What in the world? All because of Chris Digger. Yeah, I'm sure you guys know Chris Digger, some of you guys do. At the end of the day, man, the level of corruption, it sticks to high heaven, you know it. And a lot of y'all folks know what's going on and ain't saying it. That's okay. Do what you do. But I'm not going to stop. And I got to go all the way to Washington, D.C. to get an investigation going on in this doggone town, because there ain't nothing but corruption. You got a doggone criminal organization working within the system.
Thank you, Mr. Our next speaker is Ms. Erica Betts. Ms. Betts.
All right.
Woo!
I'm Erica Betts, I'm in 205 Pershing Avenue. I am here to share my thoughts on the camping ban. I hope that's more interesting than whoever's on some of the council people's phones and personal chatter going on back there. But there's already been so much dissent and discourse around this issue and this ban. I hope that for your constituents is important to you, that you can respect that. The vague and frankly deceptive language used in this ban just lends straight to the intent, is to hide the problem. Giving police who have a contentious, violent, and cruel relationship with this population more power to harass and harm them is unacceptable. Claiming that we can arrest and fine our way out of an opioid housing crisis is unacceptable. Passing the ban into law with no real research, no real enforcement plan made public, and with the community's dissent is unacceptable. Made public and with the community's dissent is unacceptable. I ask this council to vote no on passing the ban, as it does not solve any true issues of housing or health care. We as a community can choose to find productive, compassionate, and dignified solutions. We can say no to punitive, cruel treatment of our neighbors. Please choose to hear your neighbors and your constituents tonight, vote with compassion, and stand in solidarity with the working class and the poor that elected a lot of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Betts. Our next speaker is Mr. Eric Resnick. Mr. Resnick.
Let's go, Eric.
All right, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eric Resnick, 1828 Grace Avenue Northeast. First, I want to thank Member Morris for his tax increment finance package and for his 100% accurate quotes in the repository. Tax increment finance package and for his 100% accurate quotes in the repository. Everyone here that these tip packages on the campus, 100% accurate quotes in the repository. Everyone here that these tip packages on the campus a long time. now on the verge of taking out residents, the wrath of its own inaction and failed policies. Don't make and failed policies. Don't make one bad ordinance is not enough. And you know, it's a fund a few important but insufficient projects as likely to hurt people you still won't serve. The victims of the promises to those who became unhoused due to that tragedy. The city is doing nothing to thwart private equity vulture investment happening here. The city is doing nothing to thwart private equity vulture investment happening here that is driving up costs and making housing less accessible. Other progressive communities are protecting their own residents, while many of you about rising property values in your campaign literature are those who win. It's not a win. Accessibility, more people with more, and it's going to get 1 in 10 Kansas students will become homeless this school year. Homelessness is over another 18% in 2024. Ohio had a 3% increase. I'm holding a September 10th NPR report headline, Rising Housing Costs Are Pushing More Seniors into Homelessness.
Ow.
If you guys get your way, Grandma and Grandpa can become the targets of our well-disciplined police department too. Thank you. Vote no.
Thank you, Mr. Resnick. Our next speaker is Ms. Alyssa Hara. Ms.
There it is.
All right. So I did give you guys
Your name and address for the record.
My name is Alyssa Hara, 249 East Wilson.
Thank you.
I did give you guys the research last time on how this would criminalize and further oppress and affect the brown, black, ethnic, and low-income communities. So they no longer have the excuse that they don't have the research and they don't know. They know because I did your work for you. That's again, like all of us continuously do. We are the ones who do the work for you. So instead of talking to you guys, because you guys don't care, what I'm going to do is talk to you guys.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
I'm sorry. I will cut you off.
Why?
You have to address us, and then they can listen to you.
You're taking my time. I'm taking my time back.
She did it last time
I'm
too.
going to share what happened to trust evaporates.
She interrupted last time.
Happened here.
Thank you.
Recently, the citizens of Nepal set their parliament ablaze. This was a catastrophic failure of the government.
Yep.
These actions taken were a direct result from governmental corruptness. While we are not with Nepal, we must ask ourselves, what are the parallels here in Canton? Where do we see similar corrosion of trust and transparency? We see it when the city allows 3,500 vacant properties and chooses to ban homelessness versus enact a vacancy tax. We see it when vacancy tax. We see it when they receive $3.7 million from the Continuum of Care program for homelessness, yet there's still a crisis. We see it when they prioritize thousands of millions for a new police precinct, football hall of fame, storefront developments. There are more people here in this room telling you to vote no to the homelessness ban than there are of y'all up on that council. So listen to what citizens. I've gone around the blocks. I've gone and spoken to I was actually going to speak on interviews I've done with homeless, but they're all here. I don't have to speak on their behalf. They're speaking on their behalf. Do you realize not many of them have accessibility to cars, bikes, scooters, none of that. This was important enough for them to walk here. From however distance they had to walk to their stuff. This needs to be as important as it is to them, to you. These are people, human beings.
Yes.
We are begging you to see them as human beings and give them the respect they deserve.
Please.
Many of them, it is not their fault that they're homeless, but if you took the damn minute to talk to them, you would find that out. I did. I sang Teddy Swims with the lady today. Joni, I believe her name was. My soul was fulfilled. If y'all just took a moment to talk to them and listen to them. Jocelyn, all she wanted was someone to talk to her and just listen. That was it. Oliver, cup of coffee, not decaf. Ron, cigarettes. These are people. People. They don't have unreasonable requests. Obviously, housing is one of them. These are people. So treat them like it.
Thank you, Ms. Hara. Our next speaker is Mr. James Gibson. Mr. Gibson.
How you guys doing tonight? My name is James Gibson. I'm homeless. I'm not just a tool. I'm not something you can sweep under the rug. I've been out on these streets for the last 2 years. I've been stabbed, assaulted, beaten. I've never harmed anybody, but I will defend myself.
Yes.
I will defend myself from anybody standing in the way of my right to exist. You are supposed to be our leaders. You are supposed to be protecting us from tyranny, not leading us into it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Our next speaker is Ms. Elizabeth Real. Saying that correctly, I don't know.
I'm illiterate, so I'm letting Miss Bennett read my...
Okay. And could you give me her name, just so I have it for the record, and residential address?
Elizabeth Real, and I'm homeless.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Go ahead.
So this is Rosie. And housing a person is cheaper than jailing a person. The National Alliance to End Homelessness has shown it again and again. Jail costs taxpayers thousands of dollars per month, while supportive housing costs way less. So if this is about the money, then the council is about to make the most expensive mistake possible. You will spend more locking people up than you would by investing in shelters, housing, and services. This isn't just cruel, it's fiscally irresponsible. Stark County should not be throwing away taxpayer dollars to punish poverty. We should be using those dollars to actually end homelessness. Vote no.
Thank you, Ms. Real, and also for reading for her. Thank you. Our next speaker is Mr. Leon Rysdale. Rysdale? I'm sorry, I can't read it. Okay, thank you.
I'm Leon Rysdale, and I am homeless. When you find a jail homeless person, you are not solving homelessness. You are making it worse. People can't pay fines when they don't even have bus fare. People can't get stable housing when they have a criminal record that follows them forever. This policy is a revolving door from the street to jail, back to the street. It traps people in a cycle they cannot escape. Door from the street to jail, back to the street. It traps people in a cycle they cannot escape. If Stark County truly wants fewer people on the street, the answer is housing and services, not punishment. We can't arrest our way out of poverty. We can only build our way out. With shelter, affordable housing, and real support, please vote against this policy. Vote no. We can only build our way out. With shelter, affordable housing, and real support, please vote against this policy. Vote no.
Thank you, Mr. Rysdale. Our next speaker, I see the last name is also Rysdale, but I cannot read the first name. Marie, thank you.
This is my mom, Marie Rysdale. She's 65 years old and cannot see, so I'm going to speak on her behalf. She is also homeless and blind. But I want to talk about the human reality behind this policy. Imagine you are homeless. You've lost your job, maybe your family, maybe you've had health problems. Now you're sleeping outside in Stark County. Every night is a battle against cold, against hunger, and against fear. And instead of help, instead of compassion, this county says we will punish you for being poor. This law doesn't end homelessness, it ends hope. It tells people that they don't matter, that their lives are worthless. And when a community takes that stance, it loses its moral compass. We can do better. Stark County can be a place where people are lifted up, not pushed down further. Please reject this cruel and pointless policy. Vote no.
Thank you, Ms. Ryzak, and also Mr. Ryzak. Our next speaker is Mr. Bennett Parker. Mr. Parker.
I am not a Mr.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't assume gender.
Oh, I shouldn't.
No, you should not.
I should not.
That is the problem. So my name is Bennett, and I'm homeless. And I'm here because Stark County is about to make homelessness a crime. Let's be clear, homelessness is not a crime. It is a crisis. And you do not solve a crisis with handcuffs and fines. You solve it with housing, with services, with compassion. If this vote passes, what you are saying is that being poor, being without shelter, being down on your luck is something you can punish your way out of. You are saying that people who already have nothing should be given less. You are saying that jail is cheaper than housing, but we know that's not true. It costs more to cycle people through the jail system than it does to provide a real solution. And what kind of community are we if we take people's last scrap of dignity by locking them up for sleeping on a bench or issuing them a fine they will never be able to pay? That doesn't end homelessness, it just hides it. It pushes it further away from help and further away from hope. Stark County should be leading with a solution, not a punishment. We should be asking, how do we expand our shelters? How do we get more affordable housing? How do we partner with outreach groups? How do we meet people where they are instead of criminalizing their very existence? Homelessness is hard enough. Imagine losing everything, sleeping outside in the cold, and then being told you're a criminal just for trying to be alive. That's cruel. That's wrong. And it is not what we should be as a community. I'm asking you tonight to reject this policy. Do not vote to make poverty a crime. Vote instead to protect human life, to uphold dignity, and to show that Stark County can be better than this. Vote no. And directly to the mayor, who had to leave the room while I spoke. And when you pulled up next to me the other day when I was protesting, how you had your window down and completely ignored that we were there. Being on your phone, in your air-conditioned truck, ignoring us.
Thank you, Ms. Parker. Our last speaker is Tiffany Roberson.
Hey, Tiffany.
Hi, my name is Tiffany, aka Queen Roberson. The very first time I ever ended up homeless was in 2009, November. So I'm landlord. He got cut off. He didn't get a water bill for at least over a year plus. Water ended up getting cut off. Me and my two children that I had at the time, we had no choice but to leave because we didn't pay the bills. So he got a foreclosure put on his home. So I had no reason but to get a U-Haul that day and move out because they were locking the doors and changing the locks. Me and my children didn't have no choice but to be homeless right then and there. No clue, no nothing, no notes, nothing. So from that point, I was homeless. I didn't know what to do. I've never been homeless before. It was my first time. So the very first night, me and my 3-year-old son slept in my car, and it was cold outside. in the back of the house that we were supposed to be living in. My daughter, she was with the grandmother. So I was told to call CPS for help. I was trying to do better. I did that. It didn't work in my favor. I was the person that should have been on Q's and P's about this landlord that was a slum landlord. How am I supposed to know it was a slum landlord? Nobody ever told me to do a background check on a landlord. So CPS steps in. They come in. I'm the one that's the bad guy because of the housing that we were living in. And next thing I know, I'm going through a CPS case. I'm in the woman's why. I discipline my children. They call the police. I go to jail from the woman's why. My children got taken from me. There were no bruises on my children. None of that. No bad reports in school or anything. But I lost my children and ended up homeless. Never to get them back again. Bad reports in school or anything. But I lost my children and ended up homeless. Never to get them back again. This is what y'all say does for single women.
Thank you, Ms. Rowe. That is the end of public speaks. Thank you to all of our speakers from this evening.
Do not bring to your front door what happened in Nepal. Do something for the citizens, please.
As I said, I was going to switch old business. I don't know if there is any, but
Yes. Thank you, President.
Leader Mariel.
So I wanted to address a few of the public speaks from last week and then also some items that were spoke about tonight. So I want to outline a little bit about our legislative process. The idea that this ordinance was submitted last week with no discussion is not accurate. This ordinance was first submitted to Council's agenda on August 11th. It was submitted as communication number 14, and then it appeared again on August 25th, 2025 as agenda ordinance number 19. Tonight is the 5th week that it's been on our agenda. Last week when we spoke about it during our committee meetings was the 4th week, and that is actually longer than the length of time that most ordinances take. The claim that this was rushed through or this was snuck on was not accurate. There was a claim last week and this week made about 3,500 vacant properties within the city of Canton limits. That is incorrect. We do not have 3,500 vacant properties. Stark County Continuum of Care in the $3.7 billion that was noted, that is a Stark County function that does not come to the city of Canton. Stark County Continuum, excuse me, I'm talking. Thank you. The Continuum of Care gives the city a portion of money, and we are dictated of how we spend that.
How much?
The city of Canton has a code department that was very important to this council that we worked very hard on and we have passed. Our code department is tenant planning driven. This is a department that if a tenant is living in a property where a landlord is not maintaining it, they can call in, we can inspect it, we can find a landlord. We have attorneys in our law department that work on these cases. Landlords have went in front of judges over this, and it is important that we protect the residents and make sure that the housing that they live in is safe. We have a vacant registration already. So if you have a vacant property, it has to be registered. These are items that we currently do.
Do you find them?
Excuse me, I did not interrupt you when you spoke, so if you would, I'd like to get through this.
Yeah, we're going to have order now. If you don't be quiet, we're disrupting the meeting. I'm going to ask you to be orderly.
Be transparent about it if you want to counteract my claim.
If you didn't interrupt me, that's actually the next thing that I'm getting ready to address. Thank you. Since 2020, the city of Canton has invested over $15 million in affordable housing and homeless services. Over $8 million have been home funds focused on the affordable housing development, rehabilitation, and homeownership opportunities. $1.3 million plus has been directly dedicated to homeless prevention, emergency shelter, and supportive services. This money is dictated how we spend it by the continuum of care with Stark County. We have also invested over $6.5 million in affordable housing investments with Habitat for Humanity and Canton for All People. Some of the major housing developments that this has funded has been the Newton Family Homes, which was $2.1 million from the city, $1.75 million for Duncan Square, $750,000 for Parkway Lofts, and $840,000 for Robert Station. To highlight these projects and what that means for affordable housing in the city of Canton, Robert Station is a $13.4 million development that rents will be as low as $355 a month. Parkway Lofts, an $11.1 million investment, rents as low as $355 a month. The Newton Apartments, $20.3 million, rents as low as $372 a month. Duncan Square, $2.3 million. This will be housing with wraparound services to support its tenants. Of the money that we received in the ESG funding, 65% went to prevention, focused on preventing homelessness in the first place. 25% went to emergency shelter, temporary housing, and other shelter operations. And 10% went to outreach services. The City of Canton has had a ban on camping in our park system since 2016. In the 9 years of this ban, 0 arrests have occurred from this ban. This demonstrates the intention that banning camping is not about arresting people, but it helps city officials connect individuals with services.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Canton believes, excuse me, thank you. Canton believes investment in prevention.
How much money do you make off of marijuana in this state? The tax dollars.
All right.
All right.
You are
guys
disrupting the meeting.
You guys are disrupting homeless people's lives. Fuck that. Fuck the big beautiful bill. Fuck Trump. Fuck you.
She's got to go.
Yeah, you can fucking kiss my ass, big girl.
Yeah, just escort her out, please. Thank you.
I can escort my fucking self out, thank you. I don't need your services, resources, or nothing. You dumb bastards.
All this money, where is it at though?
Canton
All
believes
these
investment in
homeless people
prevention and
speaking
housing
on
solutions.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, can't answer.
Canton believes in investment in prevention and housing solutions create safer, more compassionate communities for everyone. We have shown over the past 5 years a major commitment in affordable housing, and I can tell you that it is something that we talk about weekly. The mayor has formed a homeless task force. They meet regularly. This is something that we deeply, deeply care about. It is important to know that in the state of Ohio, there have been tax cuts passed that reduced the state budget by $1.1 billion, money that could go to more affordable housing. We are seeing cuts in home funds from the federal government under Trump's tax plan. That is money that goes directly to help us build affordable housing. Canton is 1/5 of the population of Stark County. Stark County is 375,000 people. There's about 70,000 within the city of Canton. This is a county problem, in that we need townships, we need the county to join us in these investments that we have made on affordable housing. Canton will not be able to fix this alone, but over the past 5 years, we have shown a commitment to this problem, and I can tell you that moving forward, we are committed to not only addressing the services to help the homeless get into housing and get services that they need, but to continue to build affordable housing to make sure that people have a safe, affordable place to live.
So you'll vote no then? You'll vote no?
Y'all are homelessness and you are upholding shit that roots in slavery.
You
are further oppressing brown, black, ethnic, and low.
You are disrupting the meeting.
Y'all
and
know
we
that.
cannot.
We will know what you vote, and
She
I
needs to
will
go.
plaster that shit.
She is disrupting the meeting.
You disrupt me all the time, but it's not a problem to you to take my time.
Go ahead. Take
Oh, go ahead. You feel so powerful? Do you got your big pants on? Do something for our fucking citizens. I'm so tired to come here every week begging for the same shit.
We're tired too. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. Thank you.
Get the fuck up out of us! Do
We're
not.
now under informal resolutions, and we have none for this evening. We are now under communications. Let the journal show that all communications are received as read. We're now under ordinance and informal resolutions for their first reading. Madam Clerk, would you please begin with ordinance number 12?
An ordinance authorizing Canton to annex the territory known as the Whipple Avenue Southwest, number 1, 2024 annexation area, containing approximately 1.634 acres, more or less, assigning said territory to Ward 3 of the city, zoning said territory as B6 Shopping Center District and R1A Single Family Residential District, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to annexation. Number 13, an ordinance authorizing Canton to annex the territory known as the Whipple Avenue Southwest, number 2, 2024 annexation area, containing approximately 0.0172 acres, more or less, assigning said territory to Ward 3 of the city, zoning said territory as R1A Single Family Residential District, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to annexation. Number 14, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 55, 2025, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to finance. Number 15, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service to advertise, receive bids, award, and enter into contract for the sale of city-owned real property no longer needed for municipal purposes, located at Stark County Auditor Parcel Number 285773, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to Community and Economic Development. Number 16, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance 55, 2025, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to Finance and Public Property Capital Improvement. Number 17, an ordinance vacating a portion of a 12-foot unnamed alley from the south right-of-way line of 5th Street Southwest to the north right-of-way line of 6th Street Southwest, along with a portion of a 10-foot alley, Joanne Place Southwest, from the east right-of-way line of said 12-foot unnamed alley to be vacated to the west right-of-way line of Cecil Street Court Southwest, approving and accepting the replat of lots 3772, 3773, 3774, 3775, 3776, 3777, 3778, 3779, 3780, 3781, 3782, 3783, 3784, 3785, 29908, 29909, and the vacated 12-foot unnamed alley and the vacated portion of 10-foot alley, Joanne Place Southwest, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to Public Safety and Thoroughfares. Number 18, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service to enter into any contracts necessary with Liberty Demolition and Salvage to respond to the demolition base removal of 1201 and 1203 East Tuscarora Street in an amount not to exceed $57,700 and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to Finance. 19, an ordinance authorizing the director of public service to hire an additional construction manager within the engineering department until the retirement of the current construction manager for training purposes and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to Personnel. Number 20, an ordinance amending ordinance number 262, 2015 as supplemented and amended by ordinance numbers 145, 2017 and 140, 2021 to extend the tax increment financing exemptions granted for the parcels thereunder for an additional 30 years pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 5709.51 and authorizing additional instruments, agreements, certificates, and other documents deemed necessary in connection therewith, all contingent upon a personal guarantee from Stuart Lipner or a corporate guarantee from Industrial Realty Group, IRG, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to Finance. Number 21, approving an amendment to the petition for special assessments for special energy improvement projects and an amendment to the supplemental plan for the Canton Regional Energy Special Improvement District under Chapter 1710 of the Ohio Revised Code, amending the schedule of special assessments authorized and levied under ordinance number 232, 2023, for the purpose of acquiring, constructing, and improving certain public improvements in the city of Canton in cooperation with the Canton Regional Energy Special Improvements District, and approving an updated energy project cooperative agreement in connection with such improvements and special assessments, all contingent upon a personal guarantee from Stuart Lichtner or a corporate guarantee from Industrial Realty Group, IRG, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to finance. Number 22, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public safety to enter into a contract with Flock Safety in accordance with any procurement process authorized by law and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to finance. Number 23, an ordinance authorizing the auditor to pay the moral obligation for PHI Air Medical in an amount not to exceed $183.02 and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to finance. Number 24, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service to enter into an easement agreement with American Electric Power to allow for an electric line at the Cromer Reservoir and declaring the same to be an emergency. Refer to environmental and public utilities. Madam President.
Thank you very much. At this time, Chair will declare an in-house recess for the Finance and Environmental and Public Utilities Committee to meet in regards to ordinances 22 through 24 on your agenda this evening. You are now in recess.
Madam President, I'd like to call finance to order. It's now 8:30 p.m. First item is number 22. This is an ordinance authorizing the mayor and director of public safety to enter into a contract for Flock Safety in accordance with any procurement process authorized by law and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, for several years, the City of Canton Police Department has utilized our public safety cameras and our license plate readers to the benefit of the community. As we continue to look at technology and upgrades and performance and capabilities and cost effectiveness, we've looked at a new service provider, which is Flock Safety, as a possible replacement for our current provider that we have. This would possibly be a savings of over $100,000 in reference to our software, maintenance, support, and storage. Currently, Flock has offered to do a no-cost proposal for us beginning at the time of the signature of this contract. And then we'd be looking at possible costs for next year, what I would come back to this body with, of possibly $167,399, which again is a cost savings for us. I have Lieutenant Guerin here if you have any technical questions or uploads to the cameras.
Does anybody have questions?
Mr. Chairman, Safety Director, is that an annual savings of $100,000 a year?
Lieutenant Guerin?
Yes, that's an annual savings, at least for the first few years, while they're using our current hardware. As hardware will, its technology as it starts to fail, as we have to replace that over as soon as that will be.
Further questions? Any other comments? Okay. We will sign that out. The next item is number 23. This is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to pay all moral obligations for the medical and amount to exceed $183.02 and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, this body approved back on August 11th of 2025 an ordinance 147-2025, a moral obligation that we had to pay to PHI Air Medical in the amount of $23,671. This was in reference to a life flight that an employee's spouse had to take. When the city of Canton went and paid the bill, PHI came back to us and told us that we owed an additional $183.02 after we'd already made the payment of the $23,761. So we just need I have a moral ought to pay this an additional $183.02. Thank you.
Questions? Comments?
Just a comment.
Madam Morrison?
We pay them $23,000, they come back at us for $183 that total, the pound salt and suing.
We like him. Love Frank. Frank's gonna vote no.
Closed finance, coming 33 p.m. Point well taken, Member Morris. Yeah.
I like Frank. I like Frank.
So these are both Hall of Fame really. I'm not sure what this is. I do know what this is.
Yeah, I don't know. I know we're getting all mucked with it, but
This is
environmental and public utilities.
30 years.
Environmental public utilities is 834, one is number 24.
Fucking kidding me?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor and director of public service to enter into an easement agreement with American Electric Power to allow for an electric line at the Kerma Reservoir and declare the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chair, members of council, as you all know, we are under contract for the demolition and construction of the new Kroger Reservoir. And as requested, we need an easement so the AEP can run power to this. The reason for the first reading passage is with the timeline of the construction, they actually need to do this first because of that building that serves as the safety tower. So thus the time sensitivity here.
Any questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none, we'll sign this out at 8:35.
Thank you. Literally this like tactic of like, I'm just gonna tell everybody. Literally this like tactic of like, I'm just gonna tell everybody all the things that we've done and like make him listen to this long, boring list. Instead of actually saying anything like, oh, where is research that says Council can't is work? Because there's after the not. recess. Leader.
Madam President, I move to suspend Bill 2280, place ordinances 22 through 24 back on this evening's agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we suspend Rule 22A. Seconded that we suspend Rule 22A, place ordinances 22 through 24 back on this evening's agenda. Any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mariel.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Geovasis.
What are they voting on?
Crystal Smith.
What are they voting on?
Maylor.
Suspend statutory rules on ordinances 22 through 24. Are there any remarks?
Policy debate, that's.
Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mariel.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Geovasis. Chris Smith. Fisher. Cooks. Sacco. Morris. 11 yeas, Madam President.
Thank you. The motion carries. You've heard the three readings, Leader.
Madam President, I move we adopt ordinance number 22.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 22. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mariel.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Geovasis. Crystal Smith. Mayley. Kimbrough. Chris Smith. Fisher. Cooks. Sacco. Morris. 11 yeas, Madam President.
Thank you. The motion carries and ordinance number 22 has been adopted. Leader.
Madam President, I move we adopt ordinance number 23.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 23. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mariel.
Aye.
Babcock. Geovasis. Crystal Smith. Mayley. Kimbrough. Chris Smith. Fisher. Cooks. Sacco. Morris. 10 yeas, 1 nay, Madam President.
Thank you. The motion carries and ordinance number 23 has been adopted. Leader.
Madam President, I move we adopt ordinance number 24.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 24. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Merrill. Babcock. Geovasis. Crystal Smith. Bailey. Kimbrough. Chris Smith. Fisher. Cooks. Sacco. Morris. 11 yeas, Madam President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Motion carries and ordinance number 24 has been adopted. We are now under ordinances and formal resolutions for their second reading. Madam Clerk, would you please begin with ordinance number 25?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service to enter into an agreement to the Cooperative Economic Development Agreement with Jackson Township to reflect and ratify the shared development agreement between Jackson Township and the city of North Canton and declaring the same to be an emergency. Number 26, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service to enter into all contracts listed on Exhibit A utilizing opioid settlement funds and declaring the same to be an emergency. Number 27, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public safety to enter into any contracts necessary with Bertolini Trucking in an amount not to exceed $54,000 to respond to the 2208 Dover Avenue Northeast demolition and declaring the same to be an emergency. Number 28, an ordinance authorizing the clerk of council to certify to the county auditor unpaid and delinquent charges for services performed by and/or on behalf of the City of Canton Building and Code Department for board up, cleanup, demolition charges and declaring the same to be an emergency. Number 29, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service or their designee to accept easements granted to the City of Canton for the ownership, operation, and maintenance of a sanitary sewer crossing at Green Street Avenue Southwest near the proposed Redwood Canton Green Tree development, and to make ministerial changes to correct property owner names, parcel numbers, and other numerical, descriptive, or typographical errors should they occur, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Number 30, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service to enter into contract with the Ohio Department of Transportation State Infrastructure Loan Bank for a $10,510,000 loan, including fees for the West Tuscarawas Corridor Safety Project, Phase 1, GP 1165, and declaring the same to be an emergency. 31, an ordinance approving a Canton City water main extension to Addison Lake Development, authorizing the mayor or director of public service to enter into any agreements necessary for the extension of said water main, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Number 32, an ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service to enter into change order number 3 with Mike Coates Construction Company, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $51,811.70 for the water service shop renovation project, authorizing the auditor to pay all moral obligations related to said change order and declaring the same to be an emergency. Number 33, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to pay all moral obligations necessary related to the 30th Street Northeast Water Line Replacement Project, change order number 1, final, amending appropriation ordinance number 55, 2025, and declaring the same to be an emergency. Madam President.
Thank you. Leader Merrill.
Madam President, I move to suspend the statutory rules on ordinance number 33.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that you suspend the statutory rules on ordinance number 33. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Merrill.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Geovasis. Crystal Smith. Maley. Kimbrough. Chris Smith. Fisher. Cooks. Sacco. Morris. 11 yeas, Madam President.
Thank you. Motion carries. You've heard the 3 readings, Leader.
Madam President, I move we adopt ordinance number 33.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 33. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Merrill.
Aye.
Babcock. Geovasis. Crystal Smith. Maley. Kimbrough. Chris Smith. Fisher. Cooks. Sacco. Morris. 11 yeas, Madam President.
Thank you. Motion carries and ordinance number 33 has been adopted. We are now under ordinances and formal resolutions for their third, final reading and vote. Madam Clerk, would you please begin with ordinance number 34?
An ordinance amending Part 5 General Offenses Code to add a new chapter, 540, prohibited camping of the Canton codified ordinances. Madam President.
Thank you. Leader Mario.
Madam President, I move we adopt ordinance number 34.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance number 34. Are there any remarks?
Yes, Madam President.
Yes, I recognize Ms. Smith.
I would just like to say to the audience, I've heard you, and I want you to know that I will not be supporting this ordinance simply because, and it wasn't, listen, it is not for this, it is not for you all clapping, but it's because I feel the homeless, I really do. I feel that there's another solution that we should be trying to seek for their good. So I just want you to know that even before you came and spoke on it, I spoke to several of our council members. And to me, in my heart, I just can't wrap my mind around homeless getting a crime. I know that they're saying that they would not be put in jail or none of that, but who's going to be the person to say, this crime, you're going to have to pay some consequences. This crime, we're going to charge you $50 here, and then we're going to charge you $50. And I know that they're saying they will not be put in jail. Then we have to look at the source that's going to be challenging them as to why we get ready to impose this crime on them. So I want you to know that I will not be supporting ordinance number 34.
Thank you, Member Smith. Yes, Member Morris.
Okay, I want to set the record straight on a few things. Typically, our most judgmental and loudest members of the audience typically exit when we get an opportunity to speak.
Right.
First off, I did not, under no circumstances, support the substation downtown.
Right.
Okay? Nor have I ever voted in funding anything for the Hall of Fame. Okay? Am I corrupt, dishonest, transparent? Usually just with my wife. However, I will be brutally honest with you folks. I am not a leader. It is not my place to come up here and give you my opinion. Okay? My opinion is, I agree with Member Smith. But that is not the opinion of my ward. And I am elected to represent. I don't lead anybody. I represent the people of the Ward 9. So I will base my vote tonight on the feedback that I have received from my ward. Because somebody made mention, talk to the people in your ward. Well, believe it or not, some of us actually get up off our ass and we talk to the people in our ward. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Morris. Are there any further comments or remarks under number 34? Yes, Member Giovanni.
Madam President, I've been toiling with this ordinance for weeks. I also agree with the comments from Member Smith, and I also agree with the members that Member Moore spoke who is in Ward 9. I also happen to live in Ward 9. Believe it or not, as code enforcement will tell you, I'm out through the city probably just as much as Frank. And I probably turn in more things and I make more contact at people's doors before I turn something in for a violation to see if anything can be done before it's turned in code enforcement. In my conversations with people in the city, it's about 50-50 towards this ordinance. My biggest concern is that this ordinance is going to displace those people and move them into other areas and cause issues where they don't exist. And it's going to move them out into other communities surrounding the city that currently don't have ordinances like this on the book. I think there's more that can be done to address the homeless issue. But my vote tonight is going to be going with what was the first one in my gut. And also through the conversations of the people I have in the city. It's a difficult decision, more so than most people believe. They think It's easy to sit up here and just say yes or no to something that's going to affect people's lives on both sides of the issue. It's going to affect the people that are homeless that I think that we need to do more for. And it's going to also affect the people, if nothing's done, that are dealing with certain situations being caused by the homeless situation. So a lot more to be done, and that's my hope moving forward, that the city will continue the dialogue with not just members that are here tonight, but other people in the city to find other solutions that can be done to further assist the people from the situations that they're in. And like you, I'm one day away from being in the next squad. So, but again, the people that aren't homeless right now, I just hope humanity survives, because I don't see a lot of that in this country today. I don't see a lot of humanity coming from Washington. I don't see it coming from Columbus. I don't see it in the civil discord taking place in this country. It's a difficult decision. It's not just a yes or no, at least for me. Because I've weighed both sides of this issue now for several weeks. And I'm going to vote accordingly.
Thank you, Member Geovasis. Is there anyone else who would like to make a remark under ordinance number 34? Before I move to our vote. Okay. So, after those remarks, roll call vote, please, Madam Clerk.
Merrill,
Aye.
Babcock,
Aye.
Geovasis,
No.
Crystal Smith, Maley, Kimbrough, Chris Smith, no. Fisher,
Really? Rob?
Cooks,
No.
Sacco, Morris.
Aye.
That's 8 yeas and 3 nays. Queen.
Just double check. 8. Oh, wait a second. I got it right.
Hold on.
Yes. Make sure we have our count correct. Okay, the motion carries and ordinance number 34 has been adopted. Ordinance number 35, please.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor or director of public service to enter into a contract amendment in an amount not to exceed $16,000 with Environmental Design Group for engineering services related to the 15th Street Northwest Streetscape GP 1438 project, authorizing the auditor to pay all moral obligations related to this contract amendment and declaring the same to be an emergency. Madam President.
Mr. Ariel.
Madam President, move we adopt ordinance number 35. Second.
Moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 35.